melee and worrying about trying to, deal with this Conqueror stacking, snip towards multiple people. You need some speed. You need to be able to dodge out of the middle of the W.
Yep.
There are a lot of options. I want to go through the list for top lane possible options into Gwen because we have not seen all of them, Flowers. We've only seen a couple. We've seen the Akali, we've seen the Gangplank. But Kennen and Jace are also both very viable, trying to use your range early on versus the Gwen. And then also adding some more AoE to something like a Diana setup. The only problem with the Kennen aspect is that then you've got 2 APs. Diana really loves to be the single AP on the team. It's much more ideal if you can get the AD side laners.
Well, we do have the Thresh locked in here for 100 Thieves, a very effective champion at trying to corral and contain melee opponents like a Gwen, so we'll see if he's able to land that CC appropriately. The response from CLG, grabbing the Kalista here for themselves, so they will break up the power of the Kalista Thresh bottom lane. They will not allow 100 Thieves to have both of those.
And I think that CLG are assuming that FBI is going to grab probably the Aphelios, maybe the Varus. Those are the 2 highest priority, best pairings with a Thresh. And we're going to get another Broxah, Rek'Sai.
Okay.
Now, Rek'Sai, part of the reason people were kind of surprised about the previous one is that the buffs to Rek'Sai are not in yet. Those are next patch. We're not on that patch for LCS yet here. And Rek'Sai really was heavily hurt by the Prowler's Claw nerf because Prowler's Claw is so integral. It works so perfectly.
That's Rek'Sai's item, man.
It works so perfectly with our kit because you can use it while you're burrowed and then get a very easy unburrow onto somebody. But the cooldown and the extra lethality taken off of it means that Broxah shifted over to an item that got juiced up with a lot of stats.
Oh, yeah.
So we shall see. Probably still going to be the Bruiser Rek'Sai this time around. Regardless, it's the same idea. You need to have some early effectiveness with your ganks. Make sure your long-range tunnel is creatively used to find those ganks, especially on side lanes, where you can come from behind the opponent's own turret over the really thick wall. And Rek'Sai is one of the only champions that can do that because she doesn't have to use her CC to jump. She can actually stay burrowed, then still have CC for the gank afterwards, and it's a very long jump in itself. Here come the rest of the solo lane bans here, though, already taking out the other, attack damage focused ones. I would say put the Jace up there, as that's one of the ones I would want to see versus Gwen.
Well, we also have the Aphelios locked in here for 100 Thieves. That was their final pick before the second part of the ban started rolling through. So that's what the Thresh will be protecting. That's what Rek'Sai is going to look to be murdering. Here's the Kobe salute. Just show off the fiddlesticks there for a second. Show their appreciation, but we're not going to get a lock in on that one. It is Renekton instead.
Oh, Renekton went all the way through the draft, too. Another AD solo laner also can be strong into Gwen with the point-and-click stun here. I will say with the Rek'Sai, though, it makes it kind of difficult for a lot of those early trades because you really have to respect the Rek'Sai positioning. She's so creative, can go over so many walls and find gank paths basically no matter where you ward as a top laner. So it's up to Finn in that case to keep track of Ssumday and try and communicate with Broxah when and where the Renekton goes to ward, and then should be able to pull that one off. Meanwhile, bottom side though, since they lock in the Leona here for CLG, they've got that kill combination for the bottom side. They definitely have the possibility of locking up FBI, Huhi down there. It's definitely difficult because FBI and Huhi have been playing so well, but we'll see if you're going to be able to pull off a win versus this team. You kind of got to just go straight at the champs, you know?
Let's see what they want to do as the final pick here for 100 Thieves. We still assume that we need to see a mid laner here, and hey, there it is. Nope, never mind. I was about to say it fits in perfectly with the thing that we did and everything, but it don't. It's Sylas instead locked in here for Abbeddage. So looking at the ultis that he has to steal, you can fire off all the needles there as the Gwen. You can get the execution with Rek'Sai. Syndra ult, I'm not going to lie, it kind of sucks to steal a Sylas because you only get the 3 orbs, so it's like, not really the best, but most of the other ones feel pretty good.
Yeah, I actually am a big fan of stealing the Rek'Sai ultimate and then using the Rek'Sai's ultimate to dive one of Rek'Sai's teammates because then you can drop your tower aggro there and get the resets. So junglers have to be wary when passing by a Sylas lane early on because you can give them some really good ultis, and execute ult like that can be super effectively used by Sylas even early on. This champion, though, scales so nicely with cooldown reduction. It's pretty insane. So Sylas definitely has a lot of carry potential. And this entire setup for 100 Thieves has very, very good options for later into the game. Aphelios damage output is very smooth now since the lethality from the passive got ramped up. I've actually seen quite a lot of, pure, more focus on lethality builds with the collector for the Aphelios coming through, and definitely gives you a lot of options as they get, towards the mid and late game.
So I want to go back to something that you said at the very beginning of the draft when you saw the Gwen locked in, talking about how she likes these melee fights, how she wants to be able to dash and slash around her opponents with all the snips and whatnot. You've got a Renekton, you've got a Diana, you've got a Sylas. I mean, Thresh is essentially melee as well. The only ranged opponent that they have is the AD carry. Yeah. How do you feel about this 400 Thieves going into that Gwen?
So Finn just has to worry about the guns. You're always looking for white primarily.
Red, white, don't fight.
But also red, yeah, exactly. Red, white, do not fight. That's the contract special. Just chant it over and over. But that's the most fearful thing for Gwen, because those guns give Aphelios the confidence to actually walk up to within range of the W to get inside. Yeah. If you have your shurikens built up, you can actually try and help shred. You just have to watch out for the snip. There's plenty of CC on the side of CLG, though, so there's a lot of setup here. Syndra, Rek'Sai, you can get kill combinations there very easily. Rek'Sai, just the early game gank power is insane. Level 3 onwards, we're looking for Broxah big plays here. You really want to get some usefulness out of this champion early on. Set up your lanes for success. It's kind of the older style of jungling where we've traversed so heavily towards the farm-heavy style, even kind of lingering after last year's meta. But Rek'Sai definitely thrives a lot in some of these early game options. They didn't quite finish off the ward there in time, so they will know that it's there. Don't want to give over any extra information, but the early gold and experience not achieved from finishing it off.
And you just saw it pop up on your screen there for a moment. The Pro View matchup this game featuring two of the most played champions in the top lane right now. We've all played solo queue before. You know what your top laners are like. They like to complain a lot and then play Microsoft Word Simulator typing up paragraphs about how it's not their fault. Don't learn from them. Learn from these guys. Learn how to play Gwen or Renekton. Tune into that right now. It's free. You can always check that out and see how they get it done. But right now, we're taking a look at how things are going all over the map. Both our junglers are starting off here in the top side, so they'll be pathing down towards that same part of the map here as they do those first clears. And we'll see if they get into any scuffles over the bottom side, Scuttle Crab, or something similar.
Yeah, and Finn once again is taking the flash on the Gwen top, not going for the all-in ignite because it's so much more hard commitment. The flash obviously gives you so much more safety with which to try and outplay some of the jungle ganks. If you take ignite, you're basically looking to fight your way out, because Gwen does have super short cooldown on her E dash, but only if you can get an auto off to get the cooldown refund right after you use it. So some of the times when you're trying to actually run away, and it makes it difficult because there's nothing around to auto attack unless you go right back in. And he's able to still push up even without the threat of ignite early on, because if you can chase Renekton away from the minion wave early on, avoid the Renekton building up on the rage bar early on, that's how you're able to get the early priority. Does take quite a bit of damage trying to get his cannon wave all the way in, but he successfully does so earns himself the recall.
Yep, he gets to get back in time. He still has the farm advantage over his opponent there. Now, both junglers are bottom here as that crab is about to spawn. Closer is lower HP, missing a couple hundred. Broxah is still full, and it's back up from 100 Thieves heading up first. But CLG also has reinforcements here in the form of Pobelter, who has mid lane priority as a ranged versus a melee champion early on. So Brox is the one who gets to have the crab.
Yeah, he does get the crab, but because Closer focused so heavily on just perma-clearing, which you should just power clear on Diana versus the Rek'Sai to keep your camp cycling here, Broxah spent a lot of time traversing back over to this Scuttle Crab, and Closer will be able to just finish out his full clear, his jungle, get his recall off after placing the ward, go back to the top side and re-clear on clear number 2 with an experience advantage. Rek'Sai now is trying to play a little bit of catch-up as Broxah wants to get the double scuttle, but it causes a lot of travel time here for jungling. So some of the times when you are in a matchup like this where Rek'Sai does have the early priority and wants to make a lot of early moves, you have to be very cognizant of how efficient you're being with your travel time in going for these objectives and getting the camps in between, because total camps, it's already been a respawn of Krugs on top side. Closer actually going over the double wards here to get some vision for Ssumday, because this is his big wave trying to crash right now. And you love when your jungler comes here to ensure that you don't get ganked by the Rek'Sai trying to push in this big wave. So Closer, I think, has been efficient considering that he's into the Rek'Sai, and while you do give up a double scuttle, it really is not going to mean a large advantage for the Rek'Sai, because guess what? Now you get to do your second clear. Krugs have a lot of experience and gold packed into them as well, and Broxah still has never, you know, killed the level 1 Krugs that he has originally on his bottom side of the map.
And back here in mid lane, you can see Abbedage still comfortable enough to stay at about the halfway point in the lane. Yes, he is below half HP, but Pobelter almost completely out of mana, just doesn't have enough resources to be able to kill him from that threshold. Abbedage, of course, can heal up with a Kingslayer if Pobelter ever gets close, just like that, and boom, 200 HP right back in the tank. Yep,
I try and play your Sylas matchup early on. Go in for these trades when you can get your sustain on. Try and basically do, to take a metaphor from boxing, is like the rope-a-dope, where you're letting them tire themselves out. They use all their mana, you know, trying to harass, and you focus a lot on the wave and on sustaining through it. So Biscuits is the no-brainer there for your secondary. Almost always go Inspiration in addition to your Conqueror, and he is able to sustain through it no problem up to the level 6. Trying to scale against Sylas gets so much benefit out of levels.
And as you already mentioned back in Champ Select, if he can, oh wait, hold on, we might not even be talking about that right now. Ssumday's going in.
Flash.
He's waiting for the Fury. He gets the flash out of his opponent and doesn't have to spend his own. Finn's the one who swerves first, and Ssumday wins the game of chicken.
And it's going to earn him quite a lot. That wave all the way into the tower. Guess what? There's no cannon minion there. He gets his turret plate. The minions just melt away. All the melees are dead. Had to walk pretty far down to get his recall off for Finn. So by the time he teleports back, doesn't even get the last one.
Nope.
Well denied there by Ssumday. Super well timed, aggressive move. Those are the trades you like to see from the top laners. Really getting maximum punishment out of it. It doesn't result in the extra collection of the CS though for Ssumday, so is still going to be okay for Finn. Renekton will get back to the top side though and saving his teleport critically. So Ssumday gets a bunch of credit here. Hey guys, I forced the teleport top side from Gwen. Guess what? Dragon is pretty free.
Yep, especially when you've got that bot lane priority. You can see that FBI and Huhi are farming better than their opponents. They've got control wards in both of those river brushes down there in bottom lane, so there was no way CLG could rotate over to stop that one. Easy objective there for 100 Thieves. As Pobelter's back here in mid with the Lost Chapter, means that mana pool is going to be much less of an issue moving forward. Now, Broxah is level 6 compared to only the level 5 here of Closer. Control ward also placed down in the brush. And he can see there with the Tremor senses, it's not just Closer.
Yep, gets his radar pings, no problem. Nobody else close enough yet. You see already on the mini-map, they pulled up the support though. So, smart move from Abbedage to actually leave. He was protecting Closer on the transition while killing that control ward. Very, very good stuff from 100 Thieves. To play this safely, they suss out, yes, Broxah has had top side dominance here because we just went for Dragon. This has got to be a lurking Rek'Sai. And Diana's trying to farm up to the level 6 set for his ultimate, for Closer. So this mid laner really paying it back. And Abbedage definitely a team player there. Hovers for him up until they see support crossing mid, and they're like, yo, we are out of here. Because,
time to leave.
Because support roam timing means you know, everything will be lost if they force on us, and it's just a nice little window.
And now there's a window open to take out the Rift Herald as well. 100 Thieves have the wave shoved in top, so Finn is only just now able to rotate over to this. CLG can respond in time. Rift Herald is not down yet, but Ssumday goes in for the flash. They're ready to kill Broxah, and he is gone. It's about to be a second one, too. Remember, Finn does not have a flash any longer, and Closer's getting paid. 100 Thieves came for the Rift Herald, and CLG wrapped it up in a couple of kills for him.
Whoa, bye-bye Rek'Sai, Captain Flowers. We have all been there. You get stunned up. Ssumday's charging his Fury Bar. Look at that. Flash stun into the stun from Abbedage. Broxah tried to click his ult. You saw him trying to go underground there. He's just spamming his thumbs. Please let me live. Nope. 100% to 0. Really good. No hesitation from Ssumday. Just stuns him up. Point and click. That means that Abbeddage's stun is always going to land afterwards. With the chains and 100 Thieves. Guess what? First Blood, Second Blood, Rift Herald.
And a full 4 minutes to use the Rift Herald for maximum money.
And this is in a Diana Rek'Sai matchup. So jungle is now crying. Rek'Sai, not only did Rek'Sai not get to have any influence on any of the lanes early on for a proactive gank to create something, now you're looking at Diana. Oh man, Closer got a kill, already had a Dark Seal, so guess what? There's 2 stacks on this Dark Seal, and now with access to the ultimate, Diana is gonna have a lot of priority.
Well, CLG will have to find a way to make up for that unfortunate series of events that they experienced up there in the top lane, but I do want to applaud 100 Thieves for instantly having the trigger pull to make that happen. There was no hesitation. Ssumday's just like, if he walks up, he's dead. And everybody was ready to go after it. That's what you like to see.
Squishy jungle life. Oftentimes, too, when you're burrowed like that, very vulnerable to those types of plays. So here we go. Good hover from Thresh, and Huhi is there with the safety of the lantern. CLG second pass does get sussed out as well up through the river, and this is all WoW FBI Aphelios there, just slowly stacking bottom wave. Very curious to see if they actually want to make a play down there, because it would be advisable. You are setting up with Ssumday full lane pressure. He has got teleport advantage over Finn still. You basically Rift Herald top side. This tower is now gone, and you have full priority. This is one of those cases where you get your first turret bonus. Ssumday's got so much free time, and he has the mobility of a teleport. The rest of the map now for CLG is cowering in fear. Everybody's huddling at their turrets.
Where is the Croc?
Exactly. Where is Ssumday right now? Finn's saying, maybe you guys just kind of play defense for a while. I will freeze this maybe a couple ways. We can deny some there. The assumption is that everybody else can play defense safely, though. So 100 Thieves are going to look to press hard. And actually looks from the mini-map, maybe that's, Finn is actually going to try and push out that wave so that it's not going to be a big power discrepancy across the map.
And I like how every time we glance over the mid lane here, Abbedage is never recklessly stealing whatever ult he can of whoever walks near him. He's always saving this just in case a fight breaks out. He's ready to use whatever is the most appropriate tool at the time. And he'll keep shoving this up, keep maintaining this priority here for his team. He is pretty significantly far behind in terms of farm. It is the largest farm gap in the game right now. Pobelter having a 30 CS lead over his opponent. But again, it's sort of to be expected considering the nature of the matchup, like what you were talking about earlier. It's that rope-a-dope thing. There's a lot of floating like a butterfly before you can sting like a bee. And part of floating like a butterfly is floating away from some of the minions when you're going to get your butt kicked early on. 100 Thieves, though, continue to have priority over the bottom half of the map, and they will take Drake 2 uncontested, 12.5 minutes.
Yeah, and that is a good call to not contest it from CLG because Finn did not have teleport. He was trying to keep the minion wave on the long side of the map on top side, as you saw from the mini map, and Ssumday actually hovers over there, very willing to join. So, as we said, the rest of CLG, their #1 priority during that window, we are playing defense. So we are hovering, we are giving neutral objectives right now. 100 Thieves take it very gladly. This is 2 dragons already pre-13 minutes, so they've got a very nice pace set for themselves. Aphelios is actually doing a decent job farming up there quite well for FBI in addition to this, so it does start to look quite good as we progress to the mid-game for 100 Thieves.
Yep, we're starting to see those mythic items come online now too. Stridebreaker and Proto Belt already done for the top laner and jungler, respectively, of 100 Thieves. Luden's online here for Pobelter, as Turtle does have his Immortal Shield Bow too. CLG will manage to maintain control over their own blue buff, but 100 Thieves, the confidence they have around this top lane cannot be understated. They want to flex, they want to go after anything they can steal away, and they want to leverage the power of this Renekton.
Yeah, Ssumday's been playing super well. Just even not, okay, here we go with the attempted pick.
Okay, Abbedage is going to turn this one right back around if they ain't careful. Rek'Sai ults first, but now where's the rest of it coming in at? A Closer gets the kill on Broxah, but Abbedage will also fall. And now they're going to find another one here on to Smoothie. Oh,
it's something with the stolen ult here. I'm pretty sure it's something with the stolen ults from Rek'Sai.
It's in the game.
And Smoothie gets away. Every single one of you got bamboozled because WildTurtle is playing Kalista. But it's still a 1-for-1.
They forgot about Kalista. So did we.
Yep. I'm not even going to pretend like we were smarter than that.
I mean, we were looking at the mini-maps, how close was WildTurtle. Kalista ultimate, baby. Works wonders, Flowers.
Easy money there. 100 Thieves deciding to play through this, and honestly, I understand why, man. They're 2,500 gold up. They got both Drakes early on.
Yeah.
The early game has gone phenomenally for them, so why not?
Yeah, honestly, 2 1-for-1 trade right there. Now Kalista, no ultimate. And the Aphelios Thresh pushing in once again. FBI, Huhi in a very strong position. They can get their recall off. Purchase number 2 here. Should get the Mythic evened up now for Aphelios. FBI definitely going to be ready to carry. Gets the full Kraken plus a little extra attack speed.
Oh, yeah, ready to go, ready to bring that pain here in the team fights. But there's no team fights on the menu right now. The game's still proceeding on in a pretty isolated state, as you can see a few more rotations starting to happen here. Supports both heading towards the top part of the river, as AD carries have also left the bottom lane now. We might just get that team fight sooner than I thought. CLG have control over the top side river right now, but with the Scryer's Bloom being popped and Huhi in position to make a move, that might not be the case for long.
That's a good ult.
Abbeddage, yeah, stealing away the Leona ulti for lots of powerful fighting there.
I want to see it used now. The AP Leona ultimate, it's scary. It stuns, it damages.
It's an exterminatus laser. It's just called down from the sky from a spaceship to blow you up.
Calculating now, calling the satellites, reposition. They're not going to fight it. They see this ult stolen. Full rotation over from 100 Thieves means they bully CLG off of this objective. Finn goes immediately to bottom side. They're going to try and push in before they lose mid tower. There's no wave here for 100 Thieves, so instantly pop that Rift Herald to tank the tower for you, and you can use this window to try and actually open up the middle of the map.
Okay, here comes the Rift Herald. Mid lane turret probably won't die just to the charge. Yeah, still going to take a little bit more damage. They're not going to get it yet, but okay, Ssumday just decided that CLG needed another kill. I'm not really sure what transpired right there.
Pobelter's got 2 kills now on this Syndra. Really high burst damage, just completing the Ludens on top of his Sork shoes. And 3 people, they just annihilate Ssumday, too far ahead of the rest of the team as they really wanted to finish off that mid turret. You can see what they're thinking for 100 Thieves. You know, we got Rift Herald. We're going to try and hard push. We see Finn bottom side. Guess what? We're going to take your mid tower with this Rift Herald. But they get a little bit lax with their positioning. They call off the extra resources there to get a little bit too greedy. And Ssumday gets picked off, instantly bursted down before he even pops his ultimate. So Pobelter is going to be a big threat here on the side of CLG as far as possible comebacks. Because remember, they do have a decent amount of setup here for kills. Pobelter himself with a long-range Syndra stun can easily follow up on a Leona engage. So this is the main thing FBI and 100 Thieves do have to worry about. You see Pobelter here already fishing. You put down some spheres and then you kind of rotate the angle across, making FBI guess about his positioning. Lantern is kind of hovering right behind him though, but it's enough for CLG to put a stop to this dragon stacking of 100 Thieves. Can they burn it down? If 100 Thieves actually just ran straight through vision,
they're doing this slower than molasses, man, but they will get it in time. Broxah can just tunnel over the wall. He's okay. So yeah, Soul Stack stops, but now back in mid lane, 100 Thieves should have the ability to take down this turret. Yeah, 3 auto attacks from FBI, and it is gone. Second turret of the game here for the Thieves. So although they lose out on that stacking capability a little bit further, they extend the overall gold lead, keep things firmly in their favor.
Yeah, and it's going to get very, very comfortable here for FBI because he's got so much extra utility with Cleanse being one of the summoner spells, but also Huhi with his exhaust and flash and positioning on Thresh. Watching Huhi is really fun because he always positions to a really nice lantern spot for FBI, which allows FBI to play pretty aggressively on the Aphelios and really get the maximum damage out of this champion. Yep. And with the dive of CLG, it's actually not incredibly scary as long as he doesn't get hit with the Syndra stun because he's got Cleanse for the Leona engage, repositioning there with the Thresh. and Broxah is not like super far ahead on this Rek'Sai, and it gets difficult for Rek'Sai to fight these team fights, even with the more bruiser-oriented build of the Stridebreaker, which, by the way, I'm a huge proponent of. The Stridebreaker, before the next nerfs come in, is really loaded with stats. They added 200 health.
It's a pretty incredible item.
Health is just such an insanely good early game stat because you get really good durability out of it early on. You generally, for champions, will have more armor and magic resist than you need for ideal stacking for durability early on. And so health goes right into that. And pretty much every champion will be very happy to be that much more tanky. So as far as a mythic item and 1-2 rush, it's just really loaded with stats right now. Plus has the attack speed, which Rek'Sai can make great use of.
Absolutely. 100 Thieves still having a cozy little lead for themselves. Not a whole lot to fight over on the map right now. Baron is just about to spawn. No dragon on the map for about 3 minutes or so. 100 Thieves have still not lost a single turret this game. They've taken out the tier 1 in both top and mid. Total gold on the left side of your screen showed that despite Pobelter being the one person with kills on CLG, it's still FBI, the richest man on the Rift. That Aphelios will cause some problems very, very soon.
Pobelter's got his eyes on him. Can the Syndra pop the Aphelios? That's the name of the game. It's going to get more and more difficult as this game does go on. Pobelter, you can see, trying to juice it up as much as he possibly can. And CLG, their goal here, trying to push up on top side to whittle down on this turret and regain control of the Baron area, is immediately thwarted by 100 Thieves. They just walk straight up. Yoink, you think that's your Scuttle Crab. All of a sudden, no more vision on the Baron. Scuttle Crab is ours as well. And they have full authority for Abbedage to teleport in from bottom as well and collapse. So CLG just have to exit river, give up full positioning.
Yup. And that just means more 100 Thieves doing what they want to do. Smoothie's still hanging around up here in this top part of the river, and not much else to be said, honestly. Game progressing at a pretty slow pace.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's very happy for 100 Thieves. That's definitely the game that they want to play right now. They're even investing more in Peel for FBI with Abbedage's got his completed Everfrost. So you have the extra stun or snare to follow up on possible stuns or even set it up the other way. Plenty of stuff here for 100 Thieves to set him up for success. Meanwhile, though, WildTurtle on the Kalista, also with the cleanse, going to try and navigate away from the Diana. That's the main initiation that he's going to have to look out for.
Yeah.
And if he's able to do that and hop around, get multiple rend opportunities with his Hurricane now completed, that's kind of the dream scenario here for CLG. It's, hey, can we get a Leona plus Syndra pick? Or, barring that, we're going to try and look for some good positioning through this team fight to allow WildTurtle to hop freely through it and stack up, get the most out of his Hurricane.
Man, I want to see 100 Thieves take a fight here soon. Abbedage in a 1v1 against Finn. Not going too well for him here for the start, but a Kingslayer gets his HP back up higher, but then nope. Not a whole lot more happening there. Abbedage loses out in that fight, so he has to retreat back to the safety of the turret. What I was about to say is we now have 3 stasises available for 100 Thieves. They're primed and ready to go for some team fighting, but Abbedage just used his.
I think that Abbedage actually could stay there because Gwen, she no longer has huge burst damage because the ultimate is down and you can react to the W as the big burst of the Q. The big burst of the snip is actually towards the end.
Yeah.
The last snips there, and it actually does give Sylas enough time to dodge to the side to also get Kingslayer off. But all attention towards this dragon now. Teleport is ready for every solo laner.
Okay, all eyes on Drake. First TP of the fight will be used by Abbedage, who joins up with 100 Thieves before anybody actually starts getting hit by either side. FBI will be putting some damage into the Drake. He's got the white gun, but he's got the green one too, so not quite that I'm just going to dive into the middle of everyone combo, but a very powerful pairing indeed.
Oh.
Smoothie wants to go in. Closer dodging away from that. Smoothie's trying to focus onto the enemy jungler, but it don't do nothing. Smoothie just ends up ulting the ground, and the dragon goes over to 100 Thieves. Finn's in the middle of everybody, right where he wants to be, but Ssumday's returning the favor, doing it right back to CLG. Turtle's going to get cut to pieces. CLG can't do a thing. It's an ace so clean, it's spotless, baby.
Oh my god, Closer is running circles around around Smoothie Flowers. That was incredible. Closer, happy bee indeed, walks over to the side. Even with the flash used from Smoothie, he's unable to hit his E. Closer just walks down. He puts the Moonlight onto the Dragon, so then he can E up to the Dragon as well.
Yup.
Smoothie has to get ulted out of the Dragon pit. That is just outplay after outplay for 100 Thieves. Guess what it results in? Soul Point and Baron.
And Closer was also, not just with the fancy feat to evade the engage and guarantee that he'd be in a great spot in the fight, he topped the damage charts. Let's see it again.
Man, this is after he already got away from the flash from Smoothie. He eased away from the ultimate. Just so clean from Closer there. He looks so at home in these Diana games. Then guess what? The stolen ultimate from Leona, from Abbeddage, dead on, nails the carry. Abbeddage gets the kill onto Pobelter. 100 Thieves clean wipe CLG off the face of the map.
I mean, and when you look at it, yeah, Huhi's pretty close to death, about 1/3 HP. Everybody else was almost full. It never seemed like there was a chance for CLG in that fight. And now 100 Thieves commanding a 7,000 gold lead. You would expect them to make swift work of the game from here.
Whoo-wee, yeah, definitely ran him around in circles in that one, even inside the Dragon Cage match.
Can't get away from Closer's Diana. 7 out of 8 kill participation. Out-farming Broxah by 44. That's 11 camps. That's your whole jungle twice.
Yeah, at this
If the
stage in the
buffs are
game
up.
too, you got to go back with your Sherlock Holmes, cap on. But how many minions from lanes did he take?
Yes.
Because as a
How
Diana
extreme
player,
were the taxes?
I say it's definitely beneficial for Diana as a carry jungler, to get some extra CS off.
That's
those
what I tell my
minions.
laners too.
Yeah.
It's very efficient for me to take this.
Priority, push
Yoink.
the wave. You got to unlock those laners, help them push the
I'm
wave
just helping you
out.
back, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just helping you go back and heal up.
Diana's got good AoE, okay? It's in the kit.
Yeah, very,
Honestly.
very important. You got to play to your strengths.
That's definitely true. 3-0-4 for Closer on the Diana now too. And guess what? Baron buff makes the split push effortless. You can play all 3 lanes so easily because you've got the Renekton Sylas. And Abbeddage is already approaching level 16. So, even with multiple members showing right in front of him and the threat of Leona, he's honestly not scared. He was watching that Dragon fight, the attempted engage, and he's like, I could outplay this.
I mean, when you look at Turtle's itemization, you've got the core of the shield bow and the Runons, but that 2-item core does not have a ton of damage in it, to be quite honest. So just with those 2, you would think that Abbeddage could just get away. Pobelter just gets headshot from a mile away. FBI takes him out.
Oh, you've been talking smack about the green gun, huh? Heard you been talking smack about the green gun. FBI, Australian sniper there.
FBI doing what the FBI does, neutralizing the threat and just keeping it marching into the enemy base.
Who called on the hit on Pobelter? They're like, there is one player standing against us.
He knows too much.
Pobelter's got all the kills.
And now 100 Thieves know exactly how much time they've got. 14 more seconds to just keep this 5v4 going. They've got the pressure in the bottom lane. They've got even more up here in the top side as this inhibitor turret is about to fall. And there it goes. Inhibitor number 2 is on the menu, boys.
Yeah, FBI said open up a while ago. Now he's saying sit down.
Holy cow, it is just all over, but the Nexus itself here for CLG, 10,000 gold at 27 minutes. The Soul Drake will be up in 40 seconds for 100 Thieves as well. You can see everybody backing right now. They'll be able to get to that Drake pit in time.
Yeah. Man, even looking at the inventory too, prior to that, FBI had already purchased the Hex Drinker. Now on this back, he upgrades the Hex Drinker all the way to Maw, just even on the off chance that this Syndra does land the stun on him, and he happens to have used Cleanse on something else. Now he's got the big AP shield to deal with Syndra burst and Gwen possibly, trying to get to the back line. So he's doing an intelligent job of building against one of the few comeback options for CLG. So he's basically got the answers to the test prior to taking it.
Yeah, one of those good old classic situations. Cloud Soul's going to go their way. Also, Abbeddage just completing Cosmic Drive. look at his inventory, man. Hourglass, Cosmic Drive, Everfrost, that is so much ability haste. I watched him press Kingslayer on one of the minions, and the cooldown's about 4 seconds. Look at the Grievous Wounds applicators on the enemy team. I'll give you a hint, there aren't any. So that means every 4 seconds, he's just getting this surge heal for half his health.
Yes, I mean, Sylas more than any other of the AP carries benefits so heavily from ability haste. And the change from cooldown reduction to ability haste was actually in favor of him. You know, some people were like, we get kind of diminishing returns, but it's not capped. Nope. You can go to the moon with it, and with Sylas, it's insane. Abbeddage now, another ult steal on Leona. That's going to be the best one in almost all scenarios.
Oh, but the pincer attack is coming in. Abbeddage dashing away. Smoothie's now likely to be killed here at the very start, but now Finn finds himself alone. Ssumday the same. Both top laners likely to die. Ssumday buying enough time, perhaps. Flashing forward, looking for the damage onto Turtle, but he won't find it. It's already a 2-for-1. It's going to be a 3-for-1. It's about to be a 4-for-1. It's almost 5, but Pob's alive. Don't matter. It's a triple kill for Abbeddage, and 100 Thieves will wrap this one up. Flash coming out from Huhi to guarantee the ace, and that will do it. 100 Thieves keeps going strong.
100 Thieves wrap up another one. Dragon Soul on there, backs 14-4 right to the Nexus.
And that's about it. I don't have any cool in-game saying to say for this one.
They're
just chilling. They're waiting for it, man. They want to pad the stats. They're trying to reward people for voting for them in Fantasy League of Legends.
I was about to say, the reason I'm listing off, they've got Dragon Soul, they've got all these extra kills, they've got all these objectives. They're just padding all these stats here, Flowers. Load them up, because 100 Thieves, they are looking at the top of the LCS and saying, it's ours.
Oh yeah, it is very comfortably looking to be theirs right now. This team continues to perform well both individually and as a team. Yeah, there's a couple times where you're going to see those mistakes. The mid lane Ssumday death was the big one that stood out to me this game, where the team didn't properly analyze how much it was going to take to knock down the tier 1 turret. Ssumday ends up paying the price. But other than that, everything was going great for him. The coordination in the fights, making sure that they were properly selecting the targets, and Closer's individual performance in like the dragon fight and everything, man, too good, too good.
Oh man, running them around in circles. That's it. 100 Thieves are legendary in the LCS, Flowers. That is 8 wins in a row.
Woo!
8-game win streak here for 100 Thieves. They're on fire.
Is that actually, is 8 is what is legendary in the game? I'm not going to lie to you.
Have you never been legendary?
I have gone deathless in plenty of games. I'll have you know. Chad Skarner does not mean bad Skarner, but
that's what I'm talking about.
I've played this game for 11 years, and I still don't know which kill corresponds to which word. I have no idea. I know that killing spree is 3. After that, I have no idea what each of the rest of them are. I just...
More is better.
Yeah, more is better. We always want more kills, less deaths. Don't get deaths. You don't want those.
My favorite part is that after you're 8-0 and you get more kills, it just keeps saying legendary.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, say it again. Say it again, announcer.
All right. Well, that's it from us here for this second game. But for this moment, we're stepping away.